What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Cobra Kai Studio. I'm your host, Daniel Sun, and this is going to be a Fan Theories premiere, I guess, because we're going to do more than just one in this one. But we're going to start off with NRmashups, aka No Mercy Mashups, also linked in my description. So if you haven't followed him, go check him out. Theory: in the beginning and middle of the season, Daniel and Sam will teach... Okay, I see what you're saying. In the beginning or middle of the season, Daniel and Sam will teach Kata to Miguel, informing him that this is the way to regain your focus. Miguel masters the Kata. In the finals of the All Valley, Kreese orders Robbie to attack the back against Miguel. Robbie does as he is told. Miguel panics and loses doubt in himself, giving Daniel flashbacks of Mike Barnes in Karate Kid 3. Daniel gives Miguel the same talking Mr. Miyagi gave Daniel in Karate Kid 3, and uses that to regain his focus and balance. Miguel does the Kata and catches Robbie off guard, winning the tournament for the second year in a row, just like Daniel. That's a very interesting theory. No Mercy. I actually think that's a... I don't know. This season's going to be very interesting. Like, I'm seeing a lot of people speculating already the fact that the All Valley is not going to be until the end. It's going to be the final, which I could see that happening. I don't know, because they've done that already in season 1s, where I'm kind of like, are they going to make a repeat of that, you know? Because they could technically do it in the middle and have something else to be the finale, to be the huge climax for leading to season 5. But I don't know. I think it's interesting, and I do think that something like that could happen, especially the way you explained how the whole fight between Robbie and Miguel could play out. Something could happen like that, to where, you know, obviously Miguel loses focus, thinks he's not going to win, and then Daniel, you know, gives him a motivational speak. It'd be a moment for Daniel and Miguel to really bond even more so than what we got to see in season 3. Because I know a lot of people were happy to see them to actually bond in such a way finally. So I thought that it was kind of interesting this season anyways, how that happened. So next season, I think we might see more of that, hopefully. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. On to the next comment from Kenny Valdivia. Sorry. Hey, Daniel, I would like you to make a theory. How did Tori know that her fellow Cobras were in trouble at the arcade? They couldn't call her because they were in the middle of the brawl with Miyagi-Do. Also, what would have happened if Sam revealed herself in the arcade fight? Also, why would Aisha's parents return to the valley? They put their house up for sale and put her in a private school. That's a very good point about the Aisha part, for, you know, because that's obviously off the fan theory video this is coming from, Kenny. Now, that is a good point of how Tori knew that the Cobras were there. I mean, anything, it could have been any number. The way the scenes take place, there's like kind of, in a sense, time jumps. There could have been a moment that she could have got a text, she could have got a call. I would say is the most likely outcome of how that happened. But it is a good point that she kind of just shows up ready to kick ass. But I would assume that something along the lines of someone contacted her somehow, and that's why she showed up. Now, I think if Sam would have revealed herself there, I think that's when we would have got an epic Sam and Tori fight. But I do get why they wanted to hold that off until the end. It made a much more epic fight between them two. I think to let them wait until the end of the season, and, you know, and you all know how it took place with Sam and Tori. They still didn't get to finish yet. So I think the build up and the way that they've done it so far to date is actually a pretty brilliant way in how they've kind of built the tension between them two characters, I guess you could say. On to the next one from C19. So, interesting theory that honestly don't have anything to do with this video, but in recent watch party video, he was asked if Sam and Yaz ever resolved their problems. I think a more interesting question is, does Yaz as Dimitri's love interest like or trust Hawk? She made the comment when signing his cast after the front wedgie, I understand how it feels to be looked at like a freak. After that, they were caught making out. With that said, she didn't like Hawk as Eli. She made fun of him. She doesn't like Cobra Kai. They made an ass of her. Now he broke her new possible love interest's arm, and all his buddies made fun of him for it. So, will Yaz still have hate for Hawk? And could that cause problems with Hawk and Dimitri? What do you all think? That's actually a pretty interesting theory that I didn't actually think of. I've never thought of it being I guess you could say, a conflict causer. Now, I've already thought about the whole Hawk and Sam being a bit of a conflict. There's going to be some obviously this is how I kind of see it taking place, with especially the title of the first episode. There's going to be bickerments between Daniel and Johnny with the teachings, obviously. There's going to be bickerments between students because there's two different style of training, so one's going to think they're doing it right and one's going to think they're doing it right, and they're not all going to be doing the same thing. There's going to be a lot of different issues that's going to be brought up in this season with two dojos being brought together to train. It's how it's going to be. There's not much that we could do to get around it. It's just how it's going to end up having to play out. Now, I do think that it's possible that there could be some kind of conflict between Yaz and Hawk, maybe, because of this. But at the same time, it could be also one of those moments where they kind of just let bygones be bygones and kind of just let things be and kind of try to move on from what happened. But that's a very good idea in theory, though, C19 for sure. I just don't know. It's very interesting. But on to the next theory from Aaron Crace. Theory. Terry Silver will tell Tori to win a point, then lose a point, and keep the score 0. Then he will say he wants Sam to experience pain and suffer more like he told Mike Barnes to do to Daniel in The Karate Kid Part 3. That would be interesting. We do know Terry Silver and Daniel were not exactly on good terms, and as a way to get back at Daniel, I could see him maybe trying to have his daughter hurt like that. So, I do think that that's a very big possibility, Aaron. I'm not exactly sure how that would play out. I just do think that it's something that we could see. I just don't know if Silver would do that. It is something, though, that I can say is up his alley. So, what do you all think? Do you think that Terry Silver would get Tori, or maybe even somebody else, because it's possible that Sam fights more than just Tori in the All Valley. Do you think that they could try to get someone to injure her on purpose? Maybe as a spiteful way to get back at Daniel, or maybe just because they want to win. I don't know. Either way, it's a possibility. It's kind of very interesting. On to the next comment from PG. All the hints are leading to a tournament with separate girls division. We have too many women characters now in the show for there to be one division, including So what if Robbie wins the men's tournament and Sam wins the women's tournament? We have a draw and no other choices to do a over 18 open tournament. This is a perfect chance to bring back Silver, who has the power to organize it, and can see that Barnes will show up in the end to enter with his own dojo, and also an opportunity for Chosen to represent Miyagi-Do or Julie Pierce. But this would happen in Season 5 then. That's a good point. I've actually seen that too. There's a lot of speculation to how this tournament's going to be held. I do think that we do need to open up to the possibility that how the tournament was played out before might not be exactly how it plays out now, because they canceled it, and now it's more like they're letting the dojos choose how it's done, and pretty much the dojos are pretty much at fault for anything that happens. And in that sense, I do think that it's possible, that there could be a separation in divisions. Usually it's not like that, but in some places it is. So maybe we will see a separation in divisions, and if so, that is going to cause a huge conflict for their whole what dojo leaves, because then if one dojo wins one division and the other wins the other, then we have a draw. Now, will they make the two winners of the division fight, maybe? Maybe Sam and Tori fight, and the winner of them has to fight Miguel and Robbie or whatever. I don't know. It's going to be a very interesting season for damn sure. I don't know. It's something that's, I don't know. What do you all think? But yeah, I do think that would be something. Season 5 would be something we'd expect to see, most likely, if anything, just because of how things play out. I just think that would be something that we'd actually see. But I don't know. That's pretty interesting theory. Thanks for commenting, PG. But I'd say this one's from Rory Stanton. Dimitri breaks Kyler's arm, which, that would be interesting to see if Dimitri could actually do that. Lightning Joseph commented, Final 8, I believe it'll be Miyagi, Fang, and Cobra Kai. Number 1 will be Miguel Diaz, 2 Samantha, 3 Hawk, 4 Dimitri, 5 Robbie King, 6 Tori, 7 Sean, 8 Kyler. I'm assuming that must be from a question I asked in the video, because I don't remember. It's been a month already. And with this no sleep, I have no idea what you're talking about on that one. Another one from Lightning. I personally think Dimitri won't beat Kyler at the beginning of Season 4 and will lose to him, but there is a second fight of the season, the All Valley. I could see him Dimitri beating Kyler, and then he faces Hawk. It's a friendly match with Hawk winning. That would be kind of interesting to see. It would actually be kind of cool to see them fighting, not as like enemies, but as friends, to kind of just see who could win it all. And that would actually be kind of an interesting fight between the two, to be honest. Who do you think would win, Hawk or Dimitri? Or considering after the training? I know post-training right now it's kind of anybody's game, but after being trained by Miyagi-Do and Johnny, I mean, it could be a crazy game. There's no telling who might actually take the win on that one. I would say possibly Hawk, but I don't know. Dimitri might surprise us on that one, maybe. It would be an interesting friendly fight, though. But Dimitri beating Kyler, yeah, I could see him losing the first fight and then maybe possibly having to fight him again, and then that being where he ends up, unfortunately, winning, losing. I don't know. You know, it could go either way. But I think Dimitri give him a hell of a fight. Comment from Kylo Ren. I think Dimitri will defeat Kyler like he did Hawk with that nice, triumphant music. That would be kind of cool. They are kind of amping up Dimitri as far as a fighter, so I'd say it's possible that we could see something along those lines. Just, you know, because of how things are as far as Dimitri's progression already. He's already kind of progressed a lot. I mean, we know he's going to progress even more, so it is going to be interesting to see where he goes as far as character development. What do you all think? How do you think Dimitri's going to be in Season 4? I mean, I think it is going to be pretty interesting. On to the next comment from Nick. Cobra Kai winning the All Valley will be huge for the storyline. Season 5, Miyagi-Do and Eagle Fang will build back up. Maybe a trip to Okinawa might happen. Johnny, Daniel, and Chozen. Then back to the All Valley. I'd say that would be an interesting theory. I don't know if that's exactly what would happen, but I do say that it's possible that something could happen along the lines of Cobra Kai winning. I've been thinking that I think Cobra Kai is going to be the victor of this tournament because it just kind of seems like it'd make more sense, and then that gives Johnny and Daniel more motivation to have to try to figure out how to get their dojos back and keep training. I just feel like Cobra Kai winning makes sense, and it might not happen. I'm excited to see what the big three have in store for us as far as the storyline goes. You know, because there's a lot that we could expect honestly from them. You know, obviously we're getting closer to them being done filming, so in a few months we're going to start getting teasers, a lot more. I'm sure they're going to drop a teaser video in August, September-ish, kind of like they did last year. I don't know what it'll be, how they'll do it. It might even be sooner. Who knows? I mean, they're working with Netflix now, so things might play out differently. And we might not get as much teasers this time. They might have just hyped it up just because it was a new show, so they might have just hyped it up as much as they did this go around because Netflix just got, you know, the rights to it. So I don't know. What do you all think? You think that we'll get teasers sooner or later this year than we did last year? On to the next comment from Daniel. I have a theory. What if Mike Barnes kidnaps Anthony LaRusso to ensure that Cobra Kai would win the All Valley tournament? Since Daniel LaRusso lost Mike Barnes a lot of money in Karate Kid 3. I don't know, because there's a lot of speculation that Mike Barnes might actually be on Daniel and Johnny's side, actually. So that's where there's a lot of conflict on that. But I don't know, that is interesting that something like that could happen. And it might not even be Mike Barnes. It could be Kreese that would do something like that to try to ensure that they're going to win. Because you know they're going to want to win. You don't want to lose. Especially because Kreese just acquired Cobra Kai back. He's going to want to do everything he can to make sure that he still gets to, you know, keep his dojo. So, I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how that exactly plays out, actually. On to the next one from Joker Shadow. I have a theory. Maybe Sam LaRusso will fight with Tori on Season 4 tournament. Anyways, nice video. Yeah, I think that's a big, like, there's, like, no way that's not going to happen, honestly. Them two have to finish their fight. They haven't got to really finish fighting yet, so they've really got to finish their fight. So, you know, definitely we'll hope to see a full fight from them. I'm assuming that one of these seasons, there's going to be a full fight between them, and one of them's going to finally win or lose, you know. Whether it's Sam or Tori, it's going to be epic regardless. On to the next one from Blood Bandit. Can you make a Cobra Kai theory that involves Sam and Tori not being able to join the karate tournament? Also adding that Miguel faces off against Robbie and loses in the All Valley Tournament semifinals. Hawk facing off against Kyler and winning in the All Valley Tournament semifinals. Then Hawk winning the All Valley Tournament. Well, I'd say that would be pretty interesting, Blood Bandit. Sam and Tori not being able to join the karate tournament. What would happen there? I could see something happening. Them getting into a bickerment and getting into a fight pre-All Valley. And I could see something like that happening to where they're not able to compete. I don't know what would cause that. Or who would, lay down that law. Like, would it be the committee? Would it be Daniel? Would it be Kreese? I don't know. But I don't think Kreese would keep Tori out. Kreese would try to do everything to keep her in because she's one of his main fighters. So that would be kind of interesting to see how they could even do that. As far as Hawk winning the tournament, I wouldn't rule it out. I mean, I'm not going to say he's for sure going to win a tournament because you never know. But I'd say it's possible. I'd say that you can't fully rule it out. I think it's possible. On to the next comment from Aaron Kreese. Can you make a theory video if Daniel will learn the dragon, eagle, leopard, monkey, the praying mantis, or any of those kind of techniques? I'm sure there's some kind of different technique on the scroll. A lot of people think it's the healing technique. A lot of people think it's the pressure point technique, which all of them above could be true. It could be a new technique. I think we're going to see new things. Every season so far, we've seen new moves introduced. We've seen better fighting skills. We're seeing a better progression from all of the actors. All of the actors, what most of them do, train in martial arts or some kind of training. They put a lot of effort into this. We're seeing a lot of progression, and I think as we go, there's going to constantly be something new that the Big Three add. These stunt coordinators and the fight coordinators are kind of trying to make it more realistic, as in all the fighters are progressing as they go. So there's going to be more high-end moves being used, I feel like, in the All Valley. I think this All Valley fight scene, I think that's going to be what takes them the longest to film, because I think they're going to really put in a lot of effort as far as the fight choreography goes in. So I think that's what's going to take the longest. But I think that's going to be it for this video. Obviously, haven't done one of these in a while, so it was nice to kind of do a fan theory. It's not actually a fan questions video anymore. It's a fan theory video, but nonetheless, it was fun to sit here and talk about your theories. I don't know if it'll be as edited as it normally is because it's a long video, and I'm still kind of running short on time trying to get things going as far as my business goes, so that way I can get all that going and then devote my time to that and this. But I do plan to get to daily uploading. I don't think I'll do long videos every day. I might try to, because those are a lot of fun. So do the long premieres at night and stuff, or lives, whatever be the case. But also don't forget to check out my Discord. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Don't forget to follow all of my friends and other badass creators that are in the description. Bonsai Dojo, Sensei and Get Sensei. And then I appreciate all of you. I want to say thank you. We're almost at 3,000 subscribers, so let's get there, man. Let's hit the 3,000 subscribers, and we'll go from there and progress and keep growing our community that is Cobra Kai, and keep growing our channel that is Cobra Kai Studio, because Cobra Kai Studio is our channel, and we're growing it as one big community. But that's going to be it for this one, everyone. As I always say, stay badass, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a good one, everyone.